everyone. This is PHTV Channel 4 in Palos Heights. I'm Sue Jankowski. Welcome to Meet with Moraine. In this program, we talk about various things that are happening at Moraine Valley Community College. We introduce you to people who are the movers and shakers over there. And today we have Doug Brott. Doug, welcome to our program today.
Thank you so much, yeah.
Doug is super busy because he is the coordinator of academic music, associate professor of music, director of the jazz ensemble, concert band, and percussion ensemble. Do you ever go home, Doug?
Once in a blue moon. In fact, I'm luckily at home for a couple of weeks here while we're on the intercession, and my wife and kids are very happy to be seeing me once in a while.
Well, yeah, it's a lot going on for you, and I think it's important that we talk to Doug today because who doesn't love music, and knowing that there's an opportunity to maybe either participate or go listen to some music right over there at Moraine Valley Community College is really great. So before we get started, Doug, have you been at Moraine Valley for a while, and how long? What brought you there?
I started in 2002, so this is my 15th season that I just completed, and I had just finished my master's degree at Northern Illinois University back in '02, and they had a position opened up for the jazz ensemble director, and I applied and got the position. So I was there for about 2 years as an adjunct instructor of music, and then there was a full-time position that opened up, and I've been full-time ever since. So this is my 13th year full-time, 15th year at the college altogether. So. Yeah.
Well, that's great. Yeah. So obviously, it's something to your liking there.
Oh yeah, it's a great school to work for. It's a great community to serve between the students and the folks that come out from the greater Moraine Service District. It's a wonderful, wonderful place. So I'm
okay.
really happy there.
We hear that a lot from people that who work at Moraine Valley, and what a great place it is to work. And a great place to work means that students are going to a great place, because if people like their jobs and they've been there for a while and they're really enjoying their coworkers, that means the students are taking advantage of that.
I'd like to think so. Yeah, I mean, we work really well together as a team. I'm mostly within the music department, but the fine arts area is all in the same building, in the Fine and Performing Arts Center there at Moraine Valley. And I love my colleagues, and have a great administration that I get to work for. It's not to say that there isn't a bump or here or there, but nothing's perfect. But it's really a great situation. So,
very nice, great.
Yeah.
Okay, so I listed a whole bunch of stuff that you're really in charge of. So why don't we kind of go through and you explain these music groups at Moraine?
We have 7 performing ensembles at the college, and almost all of them are open to students who are enrolled as college students at the college, as well as community members. So we run, and this is fairly typical of community college programs, is that we run as both a college class and a community class at the same time. So they're commingled classes or ensembles. So you could be an 18-year-old student just out of high school sitting next to somebody who's a retired optometrist who's playing baritone saxophone and you're playing tenor saxophone. So we get this sort of cross-generational combination in there that's pretty exciting, actually. You won't get that necessarily at a typical four-year college, but it does happen fairly often at community colleges. So we've got 7 groups. We've got 2 choirs in that group, a jazz ensemble, which is an 18-member big band that plays classic big band jazz from the Basie book or the Ellington book. We've got a concert band that plays as a very typical concert band repertoire, Frank Ticheli, Gustav Holst, that sort of stuff. We've got a symphonic orchestra that plays the classics, Mozart, Beethoven, Bach, that sort of thing. We've got a college percussion ensemble, which is all percussion instruments, so xylophones, drums, marimbas.
That's fun and noisy.
It is. It's very fun and noisy, and that's one of the groups I direct. I don't thankfully direct all 7 groups, which is really nice. And then we have smaller jazz groups called jazz combos, and then we have a flute choir, and so there's a really great mix of performing ensembles. And again, nearly all of those are open to the full range of college to community members, and community members as young as 15 years old can participate in most of the groups too. So we'll have high school students and whatnot with us.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So what if you were a viewer and they said, I really enjoy playing the oboe and I'd really like to get back into it. Is there some sort of like tryout or something? I mean, it has to be somebody who can play well.
Well, to a certain extent. It depends a little bit on the instrument area in the group. So the larger groups, we pretty much have an open door policy, and so the concert band and the choirs and whatnot, if you've got some basic music training, usually we recommend high school or better, but sometimes there'll be folks that are coming to us with only a year or two of experience, and that's fine too. Then most of those groups can accommodate just about anybody that wants to come. The smaller groups get a little tighter on instrumentation. The big band is only 18 members, and we have a fairly select instrumentation. It's 5 saxophones and 4 trombones, et cetera, et cetera. But outside of that, so there will be a seating audition for some of the instrumental groups. There's usually just a quick evaluation with the choral groups just to make sure that you can, sing, fairly well and read some music. And with the jazz ensemble, there's a little bit more of a rigorous tryout, but generally speaking, we're usually able to find a spot for pretty much anybody that wants to play.
Okay. Because I think a lot of people, think, wow, I played this instrument even maybe through college, and then they're like, I really wish I could do that again, because you can't. I mean, it's not that much fun by yourself.
I agree.
So you just want to be in a group and do it. So you have like a way to do this. Now, do they need to start like in August when school starts, or is it any time you pop in?
Well, basically, we mostly try to bring people in on the start of the semester, so August and then January, and then we have a summer session for some of the groups too. So we'll be starting here in about 2 weeks with a couple of summer groups. So those are good times to enter. Once in a while, if we have a vacancy mid-semester and somebody shows up, and like oboe is a great example, and somebody come October wants to join us, we usually can work them in the group, but it's better to be starting at the start of the semester so we can get music ordered and all that sort of stuff kind of squared away. But if we can make exceptions once in a while too for that. So,
now, if you're a high school student, what would make you? Because you should be involved in your high school program. So what would make you go jump over there and be involved over there?
That's a great question. One of the things that you're going to get to play usually a higher level of music. Now, there's some wonderful high school groups in the area that play really high level material, but you're going to be sitting alongside seasoned musicians, in some cases people that are professionals on their instrument, and be able to play music at a higher level and then get more time. Let's face it, musicians need to practice, and the more that they get to play, the better they get. So it's just another outlet for that.
Okay. So do people come in, I'm thinking of the younger students coming in, 18, 19, 20 years old. They were involved in their program in school, and now they're at Moraine for 2 years until they jump over to a 4-year university.
Correct.
So do they come in hoping, like, as music majors, anybody, or do they just want to continue this playing?
It's both. The majority of our students, and you will find this at University of Illinois or Northern Illinois, the majority of the students involved in the music groups are non-majors. They're there participating because it's fun. Maybe they're on an engineering path, or maybe they're going to major in communications. But then we also have an Associates of Fine Arts degree. It's a 2-year degree that takes the place of the first 2 years of a college music major. So it's a transferable degree as well. So students that would like to transfer to a 4-year music school can take those first 2 years at a much more affordable cost, and then transfer those credits to whatever school that they would like to. And usually it's best to stay within the state of Illinois, but we have transfer agreements with some of the schools in the area, like Elmhurst and whatnot, where they can take those credits and apply those towards their 4-year music major degree.
Okay. That's great. And you mentioned the affordability. I mean, we try and let people know that going to Moraine Valley Community College for a couple of years is so much more affordable than going to a 4-year school and get you in that nice start. You end up as a junior. Lots of those credits do, and most of them actually transfer.
Right.
So that's a good way to keep your costs down for your student. Also, sometimes I feel like not all kids are ready to be on their own at schools. This gives them another couple of years of maturation so that they can function as juniors as they go off. So it's a great opportunity for that.
Absolutely. And sometimes, particularly with music degrees, there's maybe they got into music late. Maybe they didn't start in 5th grade. Maybe they decided after middle school to join the high school band and got really interested in it and need another couple of years just to sort of get their skills together, because even when they do transfer to a 4-year school, there's a performance audition that they have to do, usually in a written audition too, or examination that they have to take. So it's a good place for them to spend 2 years where they can develop a close relationship with their instructors and really further develop their skills to make sure they're ready to make that jump up to the 4-year program.
And so this gives them some time to do that.
Exactly.
So I guess that's one of the reasons that this program would be important, especially if you were wanting to do a music major. Which, by the way, being a music major is extremely time-consuming. And I mean, just the small sessions you got to go to, and you're not earning that many credit hours. My daughter was a music major for a while, and oh my goodness, I mean, literally, she was going to class constantly and getting this many credit hours for it, and I really didn't understand that, but that's
some
just
of
the way
that
it
has
is.
to do with just the requirements to get the degree as per the state, and yeah, you'll be in an ensemble 4 days a week for 4 hours and get 1 credit hour for it. Not at Moraine. Now at Moraine we condense it down a little bit, but at some of the 4-year schools, yeah, you stretch yourself very thin doing that.
Yeah, so maybe it's a good idea to start over at Moraine.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's another reason. Okay, so I guess too, so this is significant to the school because you know, fine arts is extremely important. And what makes this important to the community as well?
Well, there's a whole host of reasons, but probably the 2 biggest for me is the one you touched on earlier, is that you've played your oboe or your marimba or your French horn, or you've sang in your high school choir, and you've trained a lot of since 5th grade through your senior year, and then maybe you went off to school and maybe you majored in something else, and maybe you did a little bit of music there, but you still have this passion for playing music. Where else are you going to do that? Where else can you get a 5-octave marimba to play on? Well, we've got 3 of them over at Moraine. So, you know, so I'll have folks that are in their, you know, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s that still have this passion to play, and we're there to provide them a way to do that. And it's one of my favorite parts about my job that my 4-year counterparts don't get to do. They work with you know, maybe these very, you know, cutthroat music majors that are going for symphony orchestra jobs or whatever, and that's as exciting in its own way. But to be able to offer this resource for the greater community so that they can come and not only learn the instruments, but then perform concerts for their friends, family, and the community, and come out and see, you know, the fruits of their labor. It's really exciting for them. It's really exciting for me too to see them, you know, have that opportunity to have that experience to perform.
I like the idea that it's multi-generational too, because you know, younger people don't always get to be with the older people, and vice versa. So they have that exchange of, you know, they're all talented. So we have an exchange of talent and information, and you get to know people at a different level.
It's true. I've got a lead trumpet player that's been with me in the Moraine Valley Jazz Ensemble for, I think, 13, 14 years now, and in his heyday, he was one of the top lead trumpet players in Chicago, and he has wonderful stories to tell of working with amazing artists, and it's neat to see the 18, 19, 20-year-olds kind of figuring it out. Sometimes it takes them a little while to realize how talented this guy is. Paul Howard is his name, and that he's got this reservoir of knowledge from actually having firsthand played with some major acts that when they came through, and it's a really neat thing. It's like having a guest artist in your band every week. So,
exactly. Well, speaking of guest artists, are there people that are guest artists that come in and play for just one concert?
Yeah, we do. We'll bring in this past year we had a couple great ones. We had Reggie Thomas, who's director of jazz studies at Northern Illinois University, came in, was our guest musician with the jazz ensemble. We had Kimberly Gordon come out. She's a great downtown Chicago jazz singer. We had Nathan Daughtry, who's a composer, percussionist from Greensboro, North Carolina, come in. So yeah, we do. We get to bring in some pretty talented folks for the ensemble members to work with and for the students to get to meet, and it's exciting, and it brings it's neat to see these folks come in and how the ensemble all of a sudden can go from this level at a rehearsal to this level, maybe out of sheer terror sometimes.
Yes, we got to be good.
Whatever. Yeah, they step step up their game, and that's exciting to see too.
Yeah, that's
and
nice.
just to get to work firsthand with these really talented people too. So.
Okay, so let's think about this for a second.
Sure.
I have an instrument. I haven't played it for a few years. I don't feel really like I'd be up to playing with this group. Is there any lessons or something that I could take at Moraine Valley that would, be suitable?
Absolutely, and most of the major instrument areas for band and orchestra we can cover at Moraine. We have a non-credit music program, which is pretty much designed for community members and high school students, even middle school students. We have, and so they can take lessons on saxophone, flute, voice, piano, guitar, acoustic and electric bass, percussion, obviously. So there's a wide range of instruments that they can take individual lessons on, and often I recommend that. Often somebody will come to me and say, I would really love to join the jazz ensemble. How can I learn some jazz piano? Well, we have a wonderful jazz piano instructor, so they can take some lessons with him for a few semesters until they're feeling comfortable enough to join one of the ensembles. And then a lot of times they continue with the lessons while they're in the ensemble so they can reinforce what they're doing in that. So,
you can even take the pieces you're working on, work with that individual teacher so that you feel very confident with that.
Yeah, very often.
And if you're playing with a lot of people who have been playing, and you come in and you haven't been playing for a while, it can be a little intimidating.
Indeed, yeah, and there's some panic there, and and rest assured that all the ensembles are very warm and welcoming, and even though it may seem that way, I always tell new members that the personalities of all these groups are really inviting and really caring, and we have a tendency to take new members in and sort of nurture them into their into their maturity, I guess.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And there's nothing like that great feeling where you're involved in that. Your individual sound is part of a bigger sound, and you're cooperating as a group to make this sound really great. I mean, there's that feeling that it's kind of unbeatable. So if you've had that feeling before and want to get back to it,
this would be
wander over there.
Absolutely, it would be a great place to do it.
It really would. Okay, so now you mentioned all these groups are playing. Maybe we just don't really want to play, or we've never learned how to play anything.
Sure.
We just want to go listen. How do we find out how to go do that?
That's great. Well, because musicians, let's face it, we need audiences,
You
right?
do.
Yeah. And I think we were talking about this at a recent concert, that in this age of multimedia and easy access to music, you can click on a YouTube link and listen to the Berlin Philharmonic or whatever, the Jazz at Lincoln Center Orchestra, very easily. But there's nothing like going out to see the music being performed live. And so we have a wonderful academic music series at the college. It's usually advertised in our season brochure if you look under the academic music section, but you can always go online to the Fine and Performing Arts Center website and click on academic music, and it lists all the performances. Our groups perform a lot. The choirs perform 5 concerts per year on campus. The jazz ensemble is about the same. Concert bands around that amount as well. So all in all, we have about 20 to 25 academic music shows across the course of an entire season, which is fall, spring, and summer semesters, basically.
So there's lots of opportunities.
Lots of opportunities. Yes, probably about every 8 weeks or so. There's or even less. It's probably more like every 4 to 8 weeks that you can go see an academic music show.
Is there a cost? Do you need a ticket? How do you do that?
That's a great question too. Save for the chorale, which always seems to sell itself out. Everything else is free. So the orchestra, the concert band, percussion ensemble, those are all free now as of about a year or so ago. So and it's so you can't beat free is the way I look at it.
You cannot.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're looking for something to do, and people pay huge amounts of money to go see artists play, and here in your own neighborhood, you can go and see somebody for free.
Absolutely.
And just enjoy that. Now, so is that all held at the Dorothy Menker Theater Center
It
area?
is, yeah. And there's either in the Menker or sometimes in the Oremus, which is our smaller black box theater for some of the smaller groups. We'll do concerts in there as well, and those are more intimate sort of recital type things. But that's a great space as well, particularly if you like to want to see what's happening up close, basically.
Yeah.
I
I think too, this would be a great venue to take your older young children, you know, and kind of encourage them for learning an instrument or voice or, you know, whatever you think they might be interested in, because sometimes they don't have the opportunity to hear those things ahead of time. And this gives them a chance to see, hey, I could learn to do that. And that kind of starts a lot of times for kids in their grade school and learning an instrument then.
For the most part, we even have we do a matinee about once every 2 years with the concert band. That's a children-focused concert, and so this past May we had one, and we had Quillen and Fabish Music from up in Burr Ridge brought out a bunch of instruments for kids to try out. So we call that an instrument petting zoo. The kids get to play them and try them out. Yeah. And so they were, you know, the little ones with tubas and French horns and stuff, which was great. And then we played a program that was basically geared towards music that they would know, and had a great time. There's face painting and juggling and balloons, and so yeah, we do try to really involve even really young kids.
Yeah.
And I should say we've got, for kids just starting out, piano is a wonderful instrument to start with, and we have a children's piano class that starts as young as 7 years old. So if you've got really young kids and want to bring those kids out to get them started in music, that's a once a week class, and it's a group class of about 12 to 16 kids. And
it's a group class. Yeah. So you don't have a room full of pianos. How
we
do you do that?
Well, the electronic keyboards is what they are.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have about 16 of them, and they sit there, and you know, they've got their headphones on, and it's really it's sort of adorable.
Everyone's not plunking all together where you're hearing.
Well, sometimes they unplug and then they all play together, and then they put the headphones on and go back at it, and the instructor works with them individually, and then a lot of times after that, then those kids will track into a private lesson with the instructor later on after a year or two in the children's piano classes there. So,
okay, well that's probably a more affordable way to start your child with an instrument. Because sometimes those private lessons kind of get a little pricey. They
do, yeah, and you're getting basically an hour's worth for. I don't want to quote prices on the air without knowing them, but it's very affordable. It's actually less expensive than the individual one-on-one lessons with our instructors, which are still very affordable. Those run about $175 for 8 lessons, so it's about $22.50 these days per half hour. So,
yeah,
which is
you can't imagine what a great thing for your child to learn. Music, a piano, and just that's a whole nother language that they get to be involved in. And you know, you always look at music your whole life, even though you don't think you're going to. You actually are reading those notes all of your life. Somewhere or another, you're going to be doing that. And actually having the ability to play an instrument is really a confidence booster too. Even if you're not that good at it, like me in piano. I'm not that good, but I can do it, and that makes me feel good.
You can take lessons at Moraine and
I do need more lessons. Yeah. Maybe I need that children's group with the headphones and plug.
Yeah, you just be overwhelmed with the adorableness of watching that. So anyway,
so cute.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything else we need to know, Doug, before we wrap it up today?
I think just in terms of if people are interested in taking lessons, we have a coordinator who helps get people placed with the right teacher. Her name is Zipporah Robinson, and she can be reached at 708-974-5318, and that's Monday through Friday, basically, sort of business hours. Or you can reach out to her via email at robinsonz5@morainevalley.edu, and Zipporah's wonderful, and she'll help find the right teacher for you or for your student, and we'd love to have the whole community taking lessons with us. So,
and really, it's never too late. I have taken lessons as an adult again, just as a refresher, and I could use them again. So it's never too late to go back and enjoy something. I've heard of many people who have never taken a lesson in their life, and as adults, or super adults, as I like to say, they are taking lessons, and it's just for pure enjoyment, and you can't beat music for that. Well, thank you so much, Doug. You know, take a look, get on that website at Moraine Valley Community College and look at the fine arts area, find where those concerts are, and my goodness, with everything being so expensive nowadays, to be able to go to a number of concerts free of charge and enjoy that's a great thing, and Moraine Valley is just down the street. So
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, well, thanks for being with us today.
Well, thank you so much, it was a pleasure,
It was very nice, very good. And you, thanks for watching us. We will be back next month on Meet with Moraine with some more information for you. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.